Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 5 of NFL DFS on DraftKings is here, and I have another head-to-head battle this week. My toughest battle yet. We're bringing Adam Levitan from Establish the Run and the Daily Fantasy Edge podcast on stream, my podcast co-host, to go mano a mano. Hand-to-hand combat in the cage. We're doing this for charity. As you guys know, our guest gets to choose what stakes they want to play for. Week 1, we played for $100 donated to charity with the FF Hitman from the Fantasy Footballers. Week 2, we played against Manny Laura. We took down both of those. Manny gifted his 25 subs to, because Alora always pays his debts. Paid off his 25 subs that were owed to my channel on Twitch. Every single one of these shows is recorded live on Twitch. I'm live 6 days a week. Please come and join us over there. Link down below in the description if you wanted to come and join us over on Twitch live. We have that live chat. I can get to know you a lot better there than in the comments here on YouTube. If you'd be so kind, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and please make sure you ring that notifications bell because I come out with a ton of new content every week during NFL season. I don't want you to miss any of it. So what we have here, I've got my friend, my cohort, my podcast buddy, Adam Levitan from EstablishTheRun.com. Skin to fur himself. Some of that fur growing on his face. You can see he's got the Baker Mayfield starter kit going. Adam, how you doing this morning, man?
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I have popped my Twitch virginity. I'm on YouTube. I'm rarely in these streets, but I'm excited. And I thought we were going to be on here killing some zombies, against like 12-year-old kids from Asia. But it looks like instead we're going to be playing DFS head to head. And I feel pretty good about my strategy in that.
All right. Well, you know what? This is a little bit of a different strategy than other things. I said that what we had played for the last 2 weeks, Adam has chosen, because it's always up to my guest, what stakes they want to play for. Adam is playing for $250. We're playing each other head to head this week for $250, but we're playing for charity. If Adam wins, I will donate $250 to the Morris Animal Refuge. Adam, a big fan of the dogs and hopefully the kitties too. So we're going to support them. And if I win this head-to-head, Adam will be donating $250 to No Kid Hungry. We just finished our September fundraising drive. We raised over $10,000 as a community. You guys did that. Both Twitch and YouTube. Everybody chipped in. I really appreciate that. Give yourselves a hand. You guys are absolute superstars. So that's what we're going to be playing for. I also allow our guests to choose whether they want 1st and 1 or 2nd and 2. This is not like a normal head-to-head game where you're gonna have overlap. The best value play is gonna have overlap, the super studs are gonna be overlapped, and maybe you're playing maybe a 2v2 or a 3v3 with your head-to-head lineup. There is zero overlap in this game. We are drafting. We are also using the salaries. So Adam chose the first 2 weeks. Both guests chose 2nd and 2. Adam has chosen to go first. But before we start this draft, Adam, why don't you tell everybody where they can find all of your content?
Yeah, well, thank you. The best place to see what I'm working on is just go to Twitter at Adam Levitan. All one word. I link to things I find interesting. I link to things I'm working on. I link to news that I think is useful and stats that I think are useful for people really playing fantasy football seriously. And then, the site EstablishTheRun.com. Head over there. We have a ton of stuff Evan Silva and I do. I don't know if Evan's in these YouTube streets at all. I kind of tend to doubt it, but if you guys know Evan, I think he has unbelievable analysis on football. So go to EstablishTheRun.com. You can check out all our stuff there. We're actually running a sale right now, Al. 20% off if you're a new user. So the promo code is ETR20. Get in there.
You also have an ETR podcast, yes?
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel, which we're no Al Smizzle level, but we have a YouTube channel if you can find it, Establish the Run. And we have a podcast on iTunes too. I mean, we're trying to do it all.
There you go. Yeah, trying to hit every single outlet that you can. And that's the way to do it, right? It's full on blitz. Just all out blitz. Remember that 8-man blitz from Madden back in the day? That's what we're going with. 8-man blitz, 3 guys in coverage and man-to-man. Might leave somebody open, but you know what? We're going to come after it.
We're not on Instagram yet because I think these Instagram model scene is just too distracting. And then we're also not on Facebook because I can't take pictures of people's like babies and vacations and getting drunk and stuff like that. But we might have to bite the bullet and get on there one day. So we'll see.
You might have to. And I did some epic level trolling to get that picture for the thumbnail on this because you were not sending me a picture. So I went to your wife's Facebook page and grabbed as many pictures as I could to force you to send one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know that stuff is up. Honestly, my wife has a million pictures up. I had no idea. I can't believe Al was able to find it so easily. It's actually kind of scary.
I'm very good at what I do.
Yeah.
I'm a man of certain talents. All right, I have a very specific set of skills. So what we're going to do, I'm going to pick the first pick. Sorry, you got the first pick in this one. I'm not picking first. You got the first pick, and then I got second and 2. So we're going with you here. Boom. Here's your team. Okay. Adam, who's your first pick overall this week?
All right. So part of my strategy here is to just mess up Al's whole strategy. And I'm pretty sure that without a flow chart and without a cheap tight end, Al literally cannot play the game. I think by taking Tyler Eifert here at 3,300, I'll be able to completely throw Al off his game. And I don't even know if I like Tyler Eifert yet, honestly. Like CJ Zuma's going to play. I'm not sure I necessarily believe in the flow chart as much as I believe in this entire Arizona defense being absolutely atrocious. We did get the news that John Ross is going to miss this game on Sunday, which I think in theory helps Tyler Eifert a little bit. But regardless, I don't even know if I like the player or not. I just want Al not to have it. I think it'll really mess him up. So that's what I'm going with.
It might really mess me up if you hadn't watched my Tuesday stream where we talked at length about Tyler Eifert and the flow chart.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a sub on, twitch.tv, go check the VOD and see what my thoughts on Eifert are for this week. It is my choice for second and 2, and I'm going to go a different route. As you said, that Cardinals defense is bad against just about everybody. Auden Tate playing 90+% of snaps, basically. And now you've got a situation where the past 2 weeks, with Ross there, he's gotten 16 total targets, about a 21 or 20.9% market share of targets. And now they're playing without Ross. So Tate is the perfect play because I know Adam's probably vomiting a little bit in his mouth. He is not very athletic, but he's a big target who's getting a lot of run. He's always on the field. And again, I'm getting shares of this offense against Arizona. I'm locking in a value play. He's going to be my first pick. My second pick, I'm going to take as much volume as I can get. Christian McCaffrey playing, about 175% of the snaps and getting about 107% of the yards gained by Carolina. I know that math seems a little bit fuzzy, but just trust me on this, that basically everything they do in Carolina is running through Christian McCaffrey. There have been 2 games since 2004 where a running back has gotten 25 plus carries and 10 catches. One of them by Christian McCaffrey last week, the other one by Ezekiel Elliott last year. This doesn't happen very often. Ezekiel Elliott led the league in terms of touches last season. Right now, it's going to be tough for anybody to catch up to Christian McCaffrey. Volume is king, opportunity is king, and he's got the talent to do it. I know that the matchup is tough against Jacksonville, but with some guys, matchup really doesn't matter as much as you'd think. Give me Christian McCaffrey, give me Auden Tate, and I'm off and rolling. Adam, your pick.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Auden Tate at all. I actually played him in preseason some. I mean, he's just so big.
He ran like a 4.7 40, yeah. Adam.
I know, but his speed score is actually, like, for his size, like, it's not that bad.
All right. So it's a sliding scale.
Yeah. Okay. I like those picks.
All right.
Let me think here.
Talk your way through it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm deciding whether I would want to take another one at the top. It seems like the value plays, and we're so early in the week, we don't exactly know what's going to open up. But it seems to me like the value plays are way more valuable in this format because once we get to Sunday, a lot of them would be overlapped between thinking people's lineups. So I'm going to go ahead, man.
There is one more thing. The only way that we can switch a player is if that player is inactive. So last week, Terry McLaurin was my number 1 pick. He was obviously inactive by Sunday. You can change that one player in your lineup if somebody's inactive. So that would be the only way, just to let the chat know.
How nice of you.
Yeah.
I would have stuck the person with the 0.
Yeah.
So you had to switch him for somebody at the same salary.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if that person is in your flex, then, you can move the lineup to get whatever you have to get. But, like, you have to take, I didn't have a wide receiver spot, so I had to take another wide receiver.
but I can't take a guy and then who's dependent on somebody else on his team being out and then switch it.
No.
Okay. I don't know if I like that rule. All right. You know what? Screw it. I can't decide between these two cheaper wide receivers that I like. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure you don't get both the running backs I like. I'm going to go ahead and take DALVIN Cook at 8,400, obviously.
Okay.
One of the most fantasy friendly roles. And I think when they get into close games, which I think this one will be, we see less and less Alexander Madison. And we saw that bit of that last week, you know, even in just an impossible matchup against the Bears, DALVIN Cook grossly outsnapped Alexander Madison, still got 6 catches, still fell into the end zone. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take that, even though I'm not sure that's the right strategy.
I mean, it's a strategy.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's the right or wrong strategy, but you've got him. DALVIN Cook and Tyler Eifert is your start. I'm going to go a little bit wild here. I am also going to take a value wide receiver. And it's going to be JAVON WIMS. 90% of snaps with Taylor Gabriel dealing with concussion syndrome. This is a bit of a risky pick, at least from where I'm sitting right now, because if Gabriel somehow gets cleared to play this Sunday, WIMS is, you know, rendered somewhat useless. So there is some risk in this pick, but I think that there's a massive payoff at the end of the day. Chat is yelling hashtag team preseason at me, so maybe I've just screwed you up a little bit by taking JAVON WIMS, but this gives me an awful lot of value at wide receiver and opens up basically everything that I want for the rest of this lineup.
Yeah. I mean, JAVON WIMS has been unbelievable when he's gotten a chance in the preseason. Towards the end of last preseason, he was actually so good and such a lock to make the team. He stopped even getting reps as much in the preseason, so I didn't play him as much this past year. He wasn't officially on team preseason, but anytime that he's played the last 2 years, I mean, it's been crazy impressive. So yeah, you know, he wasn't on my list to take in this thing because I've seen too many guys get cleared in 1 week.
Yep.
From a concussion, but yeah, we'll see.
I mean, that's the route that I went. I like I said, it's a risk reward thing to me, right? Yeah. Like I've got a specific strategy that I want to attack this cage match with, and the double, and I'm happy to be able to get the 2 wide receiver values that I just got because it opens up exactly what I want to do. And with the 1-for-1 snake strategy that we have here, snake format that we have here, I don't think you can stop me from getting my guys now, Adam.
I'm just going to blow out my salary and make it so that I can't make a team.
Okay. No Kid Hungry will thank you for the forfeit.
Okay. All right. See, now I think you've taken enough value where you probably won't take another one, right? Who do you have again? You have AUDEN, TATE, JAVON WIMS, and CMC.
Yes, I have Christian McCaffrey. I have AUDEN, TATE, JAVON WIMS.
Right.
Your third pick.
Right. Okay. Let me go ahead and take a guy who I was deciding between these 2 wide receivers. I think it's the floor is a little bit higher here on this guy just because I don't know if Kenny Stills is going to end up fighting through this hamstring injury or not. So I'm going to go ahead and take Will Fuller at 4,500 in this matchup against the Falcons. If I knew that Stills was going to be out, I'd probably see the 1,100 with Kiki, but you know, we'll see as things go along during the week.
Yeah, big, so I'll go ahead and take Will Fuller. Big air yards guy, left a lot on the table. That he was just missed on a 75-yard touchdown last week, which would have made that line look completely different if he had, you know, 100 yards, got the bonus and a touchdown, and had a 20-plus fantasy point day instead of having his high day on the year be 10.1. He's got a lot of deposits into that air yards bank account, hoping that he cashes in. I like that pick a lot. All right, so DALVIN Cook, Will Fuller, and Tyler Eifert. Going back to my squad here. I can basically get what I want. And I want the volume. And I want the late game hammer. And I'm going to take the 2 most voluminous running backs on the board. I've got Christian McCaffrey. Give me Ezekiel Elliott, who's had 21 plus touches in each game since week 1, which is basically what we knew he was last year when he was getting 25 touches a game. Green Bay probably is not equipped to stop Ezekiel Elliott this week. They've allowed a ton of passes and catches by running backs. and we know what Zeke can do when being fed on the ground. So we've seen, in my opinion, 2 floor games in a row from Zeke. And that floor is 17.5 and 18.9. Right? So if that's what I'm locking in, a bad game at 17 or 18 fantasy points, knowing that a good game from Zeke is 30 plus, I'll take that floor and ceiling combo all day.
Yeah. I was actually going to take Zeke, but I actually didn't know if I'd be able to like make a reasonable lineup. And I didn't want to forfeit the match by being over in my in my cap. So yeah,
this is not easy, Adam. This is, people think they're going to come into the cage, that they're just going to step in here and be able to just perform like normal. You don't just get to make picks and well, I need to switch that one like you would when you're building a normal head-to-head lineup. There's a lot of pressure.
Right. And also, like, you know, I'm so nervous. It's my first time on Twitch. You know, who knows what the virgins out there will think. And then also, yeah, I think I'm gonna try to save a bit more money here. And this one is a little bit risky. I actually haven't looked into this enough, but I think given the matchup and given what we've seen from David Montgomery's usage over the last couple weeks, and given that they're not going to have Mitch Trubisky, I don't think it's really a downgrade to Chase Daniel much at all. 5,200 for David Montgomery's role. I'm gonna have to look at this more because I think it's probably close between him and some other guys before the end of the week. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead with David Montgomery and save a little bit more money.
All right, I think that's a good pick. And again, Oakland, if Montgomery gets the volume that he's one of the running backs who's seen his volume go up, constantly throughout the year. So, 7 touches week 1, 19 week 2, 16 week 3, 24 in week 4 against Minnesota, a very tough matchup. If he keeps getting those 20 plus touches with somebody who's got his tackle breaking ability and just overall his game, you would expect him to have a breakout game sooner or later. So the salary probably not going to get any cheaper than it is this week all season on David Montgomery. So solid value pick there. Coming back to me, I got 5,200 per player remaining. You've already taken a tight end. You might go 2 tight ends, but I kind of doubt you will. I need a stud wide receiver. We got a pretty high totaled game on the board. And talking about guys that I don't think are going to be as cheap, Michael Thomas's price has come down. 6,500 last week where he posted 18.5 points. He's at 6,600 this week. Teddy Bridgewater is no Drew Brees. That much is obvious. But this matchup is really solid. We haven't seen a drop off in terms of the amount of looks that Michael Thomas is getting. In that game where Drew Brees was injured, he stopped targeting Alvin Kamara and he kept targeting Michael Thomas. 9 targets again last week. And as low ADOT as his routes are, those are easily convertible into catches, as was his ridiculously high catch rate or catch percentage last season. That's carried over to this season. We know who he is, and he's basically a $7,500 to $8,000 wide receiver being priced at $6,600. So I'm going to take the value. It's weird to say this. I'm going to take the value with Michael Thomas, leaving me with 4,850 remaining per player. I still have a defense to go, which will boost that just a little bit, but I like where I'm sitting.
Yeah, I mean, Teddy is just so scared out there, man. It doesn't really affect Michael Thomas that much, I guess, because all of Michael Thomas routes, even with Breeze, were like 8 yards down the field anyways. So
yeah, it's not like Breeze was airing it out, and even if he was airing it out, it's rarely to Michael Thomas when he does.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I am going to go ahead and finish out my running back core, I believe here. Obviously, how many running backs have you taken out?
I think I have a flex left. So I have 2 running backs, McCaffrey and Elliott, Auden Tate, JAVON WIMS, and Michael Thomas. My running backs and wide receivers are filled. I have a QB, a tight end, a flex, and a DST.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you can fit some of these wide receivers. All right.
I can fit whatever I want.
Okay. I am man. You know what? I'm just gonna.
It's a tough game.
It really is. I don't know if I see. The thing is, I don't know if I can fit what I want to do. I need to do some quick math. Let me get my TI-82.
Get your TI-82. Run some sines and cosines. Make some graphs.
Oh God! All right. You know what? I don't think I have enough money to do that. Let me just go ahead and take. I'm gonna have to figure it out later. But I think that this is just a spot where DeAndre Hopkins just starts his ascent back up. Man, or should I take Julio?
Is this a Mount St. Julio eruption spot?
God, and I mean, God. All right, you know what? Julio's my boy. I think that one thing we've seen with the Falcons, just an inability to run the ball. I mean, just still an inability to run the ball. And I think we could end up in major shootout here. And I think you can make cases that with Zeke relatively cheap and with Dalvin, I think relatively cheap and a couple other running backs, that the price gap here isn't enough for cash to be on some of these high priced wideouts. But I think I'm behind. I need some volatility. So I'm going to go ahead with Julio here and see what I can make happen after that. And I think there is some, good correlation, I think, between Fuller and Julio in that they can score quickly and score on long plays and get the ball back for their team really quickly. So, okay, I'm going Julio.
All right. I'm telling you, chat's like, yeah, just get it out. Just tell us who the pick is. This is not easy, guys. This is really difficult. Like right now, Adam should be on his side. Like, you're not seeing his screen share. This is on my screen that I'm filling in his his plays. He should probably be filling in plays right now, trying to figure out what he can afford moving forward, right? But he's got 52. In theory, that's what he should be doing.
In theory, yes.
Moving on to my pick. So wait, what does that fill for you? You've still got a wide receiver, a quarterback, a flex, and a DST. All right, so you've got some good flexibility here. I'm going to look at a defense here. I usually go into stall mode at this point in time. As you guys know, who've ever watched the videos here on YouTube or been a part of the Twitch stream or read any of my articles, for me, the biggest predictor of daily fantasy defenses in terms of floor and possible touchdown ceiling is the ability to pressure the passer. Nobody is doing that more than the Carolina Panthers this year, and yet their price still sits at 2,600. Yes, I know they've had two amazing matchups against Houston and Arizona, who have allowed a lot of sacks. Their offensive lines have not been all that great. Jacksonville, a bit of a different offense. They don't throw it as much, but they do throw it enough. 30 plus dropbacks for Minshew last week. This is a game where I think that Jacksonville is going to have to score the football. It's not going to be a sluggo fest like it was against the Broncos, but a lot of people were on the Broncos last week as well. Minshew's looked good, but not spectacular. He's made some good throws, but I think he's prone for a couple of mistakes, and the Panthers defense, with the pressure that they can put on, I believe puts him in a spot for 2,600 where I can free up some salary here, take a value play, and kind of, check blind back to Adam, figuring out where he goes so I can make the rest of my plays moving on. So Carolina's defense at home for 2,600 is where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
I got 5,600 remaining per spot. You have 5,200 and a defense left.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take, I think, a higher floor wide receiver than what I've been playing. And I understand Chris Harris has been playing extremely well, and Chris Harris will be on Keenan Allen. Well, let me see if I can fit this.
Keenan Allen has been, we had like a meme going on the channel. Like, what was the first week that Keenan Allen was not going to have double-digit targets? And a lot of people were like, it's going to be the bye week in week 12. But a lot of sense was made from, like, if they get up on Miami, they're probably just not going to have to throw it to him as much as they will with everybody else. Harris has been shadowing people in and out of the slot this year, so I think you're right that he's going to just chase him around the field.
Yeah, and I would note, I believe Keenan had like a 7-yard touchdown called back.
Yes. Yeah. But I'm just saying in terms of target volume, like even that was the one that was, that would have been 7 targets. It wouldn't have been 17 or 15 or 10 like you'd seen the weeks before.
Yeah.
But it definitely would have made the week.
You know what? I'm just going to YOLO. I'm going DeAndre Hopkins. Just give me all the
wide receiver dudes.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm building a cash lineup the exact way that I would never build a cash lineup in in the history of man.
Yeah, so everybody who had tuned in hoping to get Levitan's cash game lineup, F's in the chat. DeAndre Hopkins, though, it looks like you're game stacking that game.
Also, if anybody, I see some people in here who have negative things to say. I'm currently posted in the lobby up to 2120 on Draftkings. If anybody would like to play, you can find me there. I'd be willing to. I'd be looking for you.
This is what they call in the poker world advertising. Adam showing the bluff on the river, hoping to get more action down the road. Let's see. For me, there's a couple of ways that I could go. Quarterbacks, we know that I can find a quarterback that's good enough to go with this team. Like if I was to plug in somebody like Lamar Jackson, that would leave me 4,800 left. I could definitely do that. If I have a tight end, I mean, Waller is outstanding. The matchup is a little bit tough. He has not scored a touchdown. There should be some positive regression, at least in terms of him scoring a touchdown with the amount of yards and amount of targets and amount of catches that he's gotten at tight end. I'd still have the money to kind of do the things that I want if I went that route. But I think there's one guy that we haven't touched on that I think is a pretty good value play. He's way down here. It's ugly. Adam's going to vomit in his mouth a little bit. But Carlos Hyde against Atlanta at 4,300 would open up a lot more for me at quarterback and at tight end. But do I need that much at tight end is really the question. I think it's down to a couple of guys here for me. I think I got to pick a tight end here. It's down to Greg Olsen. Bounce back week for him. Coming back home and against Jacksonville. Darren Waller and his undeniable volume that he's seen at 5K. I think it's going to be Waller for me. That might be a mistake to go with Waller over Olsen here. I still have 5,900 with which to spend. I like the spot that I'm in. I like the quarterbacks that I have availability to, and I still have a flex that I can choose from. So I think that's where I'm going. Give me Waller. The Walrus, chat.
Yeah, certainly a difficult matchup this week for Darren Waller, but
volume can overcome.
Yeah, I mean, his usage is like, you know, if I would rank guys at any position, I think in terms of usage right now it would probably be McCaffrey 1, Fournette 2, and Waller 3. I mean, the usage is just ridiculous for Darren Waller.
For sure. We talk about routes run per drop back, and he's like been at or over 70% every single week with 2 weeks over 80%.
Yeah, he's the Stones. By the way, just got a tweet from Adam Schefter. Tyreek Hill will return to practice today. That's interesting.
Interesting.
Okay. So I have quarterback, flex, and defense left, correct?
You have a quarterback, you have a flex, and you have a DST.
Yep. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to YOLO it. Go ahead and give me Kiki, and I'm going to go ahead and hope that...
full game stack.
Going to go ahead and hope that that Kenny Stills goes ahead and misses this game.
All right. Fair. Let me get Kiki. Kiki Kute at 3,400, leaving you 4,800 for a defense and a quarterback. Obviously, the defense, if you got, you know, it's going to boost your salary. You're going to be able to pick any quarterback you want. I think I know which quarterback you're going for based on the makeup of your team, obviously, for correlation's sake. It's an interesting look that you got there.
This is a sick tournament team. I'm putting this in I wish I put this in the Wildcat or something like that. I mean, this is an awesome tournament.
This is a single entry spy team if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
The $100 spy single entry tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, where do I go with quarterback? I mean, I think you're going with Deshaun Watson or the very real possibility of Matt Ryan, who has had a 300-yard game in each one of his games so far. That would leave me 5,900 for a flex. What do I have left at 5,900? Aaron Jones, I'd have two running backs in the same game. Shepard, Ingram, Marquise Brown against Pittsburgh. Wayne Gallman Jr. But what if I went here and I rolled the dice? With 6,700, how much would this leave me? My finger's still on the piece. Leave me 5,100. I could take a quarterback. I'd still have somebody like Rudolph, Allen in a tough matchup, Chase Daniel. I don't think that Melvin Gordon is going to get over 40% of the looks at running back this week, Adam. I think they're going to work him back in. We talked yesterday on stream about the floor with Austin Eckler, with Melvin Gordon getting the bulk of the work that he got last year, is still 11 touches, right? We're still talking about 11, 12 touches for Austin Eckler as a floor. I think he gets back to his normal, closer to what we've seen as normal this season before we see him get back to what his floor was last year. We may have a true 50-50 split, which would be an upgrade over what Austin Eckler was last year. I'm thinking about 12 runs, 10 to 12 runs from him this week, and still seeing those 5+ targets in the passing game. He's not going to get the 1-yard plunges, but that's not really where he's scored a bunch of touchdowns this year with 6 of them. He's got 3 of them coming through the air. I'm going to roll the dice with Eckler against Denver, and them riding the guy that's gotten them a bunch of yards and a bunch of plays this season. Give me Eckler. I'll take the chance there. I think that this is a high leverage spot in tournaments this week. I know this is a head-to-head lineup, but I've got a quarterback that I can play. At least, I've got multiple quarterbacks that I can pick here, even if you take one of mine, which I doubt you're going to do, that are fine with this absolutely ridiculous rest of the lineup that I think that I have volume-wise. So let's get over to your quarterback or defense pick. You can stall with a defense and take the quarterback later. You can just take your defense now, because I obviously can't take one. You have your pick of defenses.
Yeah. I don't think I have much of a choice here, given the way I built this lineup. And by the way, I agree with you that, Austin Eckler, not only is he, not only may Melvin Gordon not be ready, but Austin Eckler is just too good, man.
He's a monster right now.
He's going to play plenty. I think
people are overreacting to Melvin Gordon being back. And we spent like a half hour on this yesterday, because I think this is honestly the biggest spot of the week that you have to get right, is Austin Eckler's usage, because I think that ownership's going to just plummet this week. And if you think he's going to get 15+ touches or 17+ touches this week, where everybody else is going to, drop him under 10%, under 5%, I think this is a massive leverage spot in tournaments.
Yeah. We got really good information last week. I don't know why people were like so hesitant to believe it. We had multiple reports that Melvin Gordon was going to be emergency only. So I would think that, somebody has a line to that coaching staff, and hopefully we'll get good information again on what Austin Eckler's, Melvin Gordon's role will be. But yeah, I don't have much of a choice. I have to take Deshaun Watson, and that leaves me with $3K for defense.
And $3K is pretty much the standard defensive price, so that's fine. Deshaun Watson, you've got a great tournament lineup. So you're either going to get beat by 50 or you're going to beat me by 50, and I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting that. Well, now see, this is now everybody's seen this lineup. Can I even put it in a tournament? What if somebody else also puts it in a tournament?
Adam, nobody listens to my stuff, dude. Don't worry. Nobody listens to my videos. Nobody listens to my streams. Nobody does what I say. So nobody's going to see this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, listen, any of you zombie killers out there play this lineup, I'm coming for you.
I'm coming right for you. Yeah, this lineup's going to have like a 200-person train in the spy. Everybody's playing this in the single entry tournaments. I've got 5,100. Now, I could take Kyle Allen against Jacksonville, but I don't think that's the best spot. We saw what pressure did to him last week. Could take Mason Rudolph, but I don't know if I want to play him, even though Baltimore is susceptible to the pass. He had an okay game last week. Again, 15 and 16 points is fine. It's not thrilling, but it's fine. Chase Daniel on the road, I think he's fine. At 4,800, I could go with either one. This is a terrible coin flip, but it's a coin flip. I'm not playing Mariota against Buffalo this week. To me, it comes down to Mason Rudolph or Chase Daniel. And I do have JAVON WIMS, so I'm taking Chase Daniel. I'm going to leave 300 on the table. So Chase Daniel, Christian McCaffrey, Ezekiel Elliott, Auden Tate and WIMS for value at wide receiver, Michael Thomas, Darren Waller, Austin Eckler, Panthers D. I really, really like this lineup. I think you gave me too good of a lineup, Adam.
Yeah, you're a massive favorite.
All right. Which defense you got?
Yeah. I got to take the Tennessee Titans. I'm not sure if Josh Allen's going to play in this game. And Josh Allen's like actually one of my favorite players to play in fantasy. I've been playing Josh Allen probably more than any other quarterback for the last year and a half. But even if he plays, I mean, dude certainly turns the ball over a ton, certainly takes a lot of sacks. And if it's not, it's going to be Matt Barkley, who I think Matt Barkley's actually better maybe than a lot of people give him credit for, but still.
I thought you were going to say better than Josh Allen. I was going to say, get all the way out of here.
No. But yeah, you know, I hope Josh Allen is okay. I hope that he plays and everything. But if not, I think either way, Titans D is pretty good.
Yeah, 3+ sacks in 3 of their 4 games this year. The only game they didn't get it was against Jacksonville. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Adam, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you don't already, and I'm sure every single one of you does, go follow Adam on Twitter. Go check out their stuff at Establish the Run. Adam, thank you for joining us.
Really, this was fun. I wish that I could run it back with a more competitive team. Maybe we'll have to do it again later.
Well, if you want that, you know, that back-to-back, if you want that rematch, the WrestleMania comeback match later in the season, I'm sure that we can make that work. Guys, thank you for joining us once again. If you like this video, please do not hesitate to drop a like on the video. And if you're new, please click subscribe. Definitely ring that notifications bell so that you can be notified anytime I come out with new content right here on YouTube, because I publish a lot of it. And I'm live 6 days a week on Twitch. There's a link down below to that and every other one of my socials. Click through that, browse, see what you got to do, and I will catch up to you next time. Until then, bye.